As of recently, there's been some commotion about the matchmaking in D2, yet again, no surprise. I made a video a while ago discussing the misconceptions of skill-based matchmaking if you want to hear my complete thoughts on that, so I'm not going to dig too much into that topic as of now. Since then, my feelings regarding matchmaking have changed, and the best way I can describe it is apathy. In other words, I just don't care or have any emotion attached to the matchmaking sentiments because I have came to the conclusion that no matter what matchmaking system Bungie chooses to incorporate, my PvP experience will forever be cursed because the stats on my main account are off the charts. Needless to say, if Bungie chooses to incorporate strict skill-based matchmaking like they have done in the past, I'll be sitting in orbit for 3 to 5 minutes at a time just to play against players across the world, which results in a subpar experience regardless of relative skill due to high ping between one another. Or I will wait the same amount of time just to match against cheaters, since their stats are inflated for obvious reasons and they're in my bracket. If Bungie decides to keep the current system, I'm cursed because my relative skill is too high that 99% of the lobbies I find myself in, the game considers me an outlier and it has to offset my relative skill heavily with the worst players in the lobby via lobby balancing. So most of my games consist of me going extremely positive while everyone on my team are incredibly negative. The game puts literal sandbags on my team that weigh heavier than a collapsing star, so they will get farmed for the purpose of offsetting my skill level to make it as balanced as possible. Logically and mathematically, the team balancing algorithm makes sense on paper, but in practice, my existence in a given lobby is dead ass ruining the experience of less experienced PvP players because they are on an entire team. Like, they're playing against an entire team that is better than them on an individual level, right? I'm still confused on who this is supposed to help because I can promise you the casual players on my team going quintuple negative aren't enjoying themselves in the least. Lobby balancing punishes them more than it punished me, in all honesty. I'll still frag out. The reason high-level players complain about lobby balancing is because it does not allow them to blow off steam and mess around with different things outside of their comfort zone. But I guess you could make the argument that if you're a less experienced PvP player, every game is a sweat and you're fighting for your life, right? Because you're just generally fighting players more experienced or better than you. But back to the topic at hand. The main reason players like myself complain about this is because if I don't want to get mercied, I have to always use the strongest meta weapons and outliers. I don't have to, but most players who are aware of lobby balancing think in terms of, if I don't want to get mercied, I have to use meta and strong options, right? The icing on the cake is that the moment the algorithm thinks your Destiny account is too good statistically, it's forever cursed, right? Just as an example, I could stop playing this game for, let's say, 2 to 3 years. I come back, after the 2 to 3 year break, the hypothetical 2 to 3 year break, and then I play like absolute cheeks. I'm talking about averaging 0 kills and 20 deaths a match for like 3 weeks straight. Despite how poor my performance is, all it will take was one good session of PvP, and the system will think I'm right back where I left off in terms of relative skill level before I took my hypothetical break. I know I kind of went on a tangent, but in short, the game thinks I can carry rock bottom players and new lights no matter what weapons or builds I'm using, and it's going to be that way until they change something about how lobbies are balanced. If I would want a drastically different experience, I would have to literally play on an alternate account and purposely throw on it so I have average stats. But nowadays, with how complicated the game had gotten with the loot systems and the weapons, I couldn't be asked to try and maintain an alternate account. And I'm not going to play on someone else's account and curse their matchmaking either. Back in year one, when the game was a lot more simple, like, having alt accounts is pretty easy, but now it's just not possible. I can't be asked to try and maintain it. And when I say play on someone else's account, like dead ass, if I play on someone else's account for too long, the MMR literally catches up and figures me out. So I'm going to be getting lobby balanced as if I was on my main, but I'm on someone else's account. So I'm actually cursing their matchmaking experience because the game thinks that the person playing on that account is me because I was on the account for too long, right? This has happened on stream before when I've played on an alt, and I'm getting team bounced as if I was on my main account. In conclusion, it does not matter what matchmaking system there is. It's cursed for me either way, and I can't help but feel apathetic towards the conversation about it. Some people have asked for thoughts on the exchange, like the exchange between DMG and GameSager, so I thought I would do a quick upload. That's all for me though. I'll see y'all around.